Welcome. This is episode 10 plus 12 of R.I.P podcast.
Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Hey!
Hey!
All right.
Yep. Just real quick, I'm going to address this at the top of the episode, as they would say, at the top here, top of the show. It's 10 plus 12 because I'm missing episode 10, and I said I was going to release it on audio, which I was planning to do, and I went over it, I looked at it, I started to edit it and whatnot, and I was just really disappointed by it and displeased by it because I said about 1 million times, and I've already done it probably twice, and I'm going to be conscious of trying not to do it in this episode because I think it's kind of annoying when you listen to it, and it just the whole time, So, yeah, this is going to be a combination, I guess, of what I want to talk about in the new one, as well as some of the stuff I talked about in the other one, just because I can remember most of it. And yeah, just real brief, I wanted to go over that. So yeah, this is 10 plus 12. So go get your coffee, get a snack, whatever you need to do, relax, and put on a pair of headphones or I don't know what, but just get ready. We're gonna do it. Yeah, I'm a little angry because of a lot of things. Actually, I just went for a run, and I got back and I took a shower, and I mistakenly didn't take a cold shower, which I should have. But my mindset was going into the water machine, that you take a hot shower, and when you're out of the hot shower, everything feels cooler. So that was my philosophy going into it. But, it was right after I went for a 2.5 maybe mile run, and not bragging. And when I got out, I was still sweating, and I'm still sweating, and my forehead's perspirating. I mean, it's really annoying me. I have a fan going on. Hopefully you can't hear it. I don't have headphones on, so I don't know what I sound like or what the room sounds like. I didn't get the what do they call it? The room tone. I didn't get the room tone. I don't know what it sounds like. So it should be fine though. But yeah, I mistakenly took a hot shower after a run, and I didn't have enough time to cool it down, because another thing that made me angry was some of the news that I received while I was running. And we're going to talk about this. It's the reason why this book is sitting next to me. If you can see who it's by, you might even know the book. You might have read the book. But I received some terrible news, and I haven't processed it yet, but we're going to talk about it on the episode. Later on in the episode, it's probably the title of the episode. It's very sad. And yeah, that's another reason why I'm angry, and I'm still sweating, and it's annoying me. But no excuses, no days off. That's a beginning of a song by a British rapper that I like. His name is Nux. Put up a picture of Nux right here, and we're on the frontal side of things now. The camera. I think this is better how it looks. And you're looking at my microphone, and you're saying, "What's going on here? What, has it got a mask? You put a mask on your microphone? Is it going to catch corona? Am I contagious?" No. The answer is no. I'm not contagious. The microphone doesn't need protection for its lungs, because I am the lungs. The lungs are right here, and I'm sending them into this thing. The reason why this is here is because I've been having problems with this damn thing. I mean, I bought this thing I upped the budget, like I said. It sounds nicer, I think. I mean, it's for podcasting. I had to put this thing on. I mean, that's without it. And that's with it. I mean, you see why now, don't you? This is from the old microphone. If you're an OG listener, you would know. You would have seen this before on YouTube. And if you're just a listener, you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, and you're very confused. It's a pop filter, long story short. It's a pop filter for the microphone. That's what it is. And it looks stupid, but if it doesn't sound stupid, who cares? Or if it looks stupid and it sounds great, who cares? I don't know. I just took a shower. I just went for a run. I'm sad. I'm depressed. My brain is all over the place. First thing first, I want to talk about this dream I had. That was this morning, actually. Because for some reason, I mean, recently, really, I've been having odd dreams and consistently. And I remember most of them, and I remember the one I had today, and I want to talk about it because I think it's a great, and I'm not bullshitting here, and I'm not making this up either. I think it's a great video game idea. And it could honestly even be one. I'm not a developer or anything. I don't know how to make games, but I will gladly pitch it to Unreal Engines or whatever, or whoever will want it. But this is what it was. So I don't remember all of it because, you never really remember like 100% of your dreams. It's like taking DMT. You don't remember the whole trip, but you remember just little bits and pieces of it. But I remember the central aspects of this dream, which could be translated into a video game, I strongly believe, and you'll hear why. It was basically Hunger Games combined with movie villains. Yeah. Or no, not movie villains. That's wrong. Not movie villains. Horror villains? Is that right? Yeah, horror villains. Like for example, in the dream, this is what was actually in the dream. It was Slenderman was there. And then I guess movies too, it counts because Michael Myers is there. And those are the only two I remember, but I know there's more. I just don't remember all of the details of it. But basically, it was me, and I was there with, I think, people that I know, like in real life, because that's how dreams work. And this is a real fact that I've read before, that every person you see in your dream, you've seen before in your life. I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it. So I was with people that I know, obviously. I'm not going to say who they are, but I was with people I know in the dream, but I know that it was a group of people. And it might not have been in the dream, it might not have been Hunger Games, but that's just how I'm translating it to this. That's how I'm working it out. I'm working it out vocally right now because all I've done is think about it, and all I've done is dream it. So here we're working it out into the video game idea that it could be. So I was with a group of people, and there's obviously, Slenderman, fucking Michael Myers, and whoever else. I mean, you could throw in Jason, you could throw in the guy from Don't Breathe for shit's sake, the guy from Don't Breathe, the blind guy, or yeah, Don't Breathe. That's right. The second one's out right now. I haven't seen it yet. Planning on seeing it. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, I mean, so the reason why I say Hunger Games is because I remember all of us in the dream were, I mean, me especially, was running away from, Slenderman and Michael Myers, and like there's like this whole map of like, it was mostly in the woods too, which makes sense. I mean, it's horror, but it's in the woods, and there's like some rundown, like abandoned buildings and whatnot that you can go hide in. I remember hiding in some weird, like abandoned buildings that have these odd obstacles. And the reason why I think it's a video game idea is because even in the dream itself, from what I remember, it kind of had the way that I was moving around, kind of had the mechanics of a video game. And what I mean by that is that, like, I remember it was dark too in the dream. And I'm not making this shit up, but this is everything that I remember, and I'm only going to talk about what I remember because the rest can just be expanded on, for a video game or whatever. I remember it was dark, and I remember, I mean, even in the dream, I remember like there was like, how in a video game it'll be like press X to do this or press Y to do this. I remember it kind of like the reality slowed down a little bit. And it was like, you can either go this way and follow this person who's, also running away from the horror people. I don't know what to call them, villains. I don't know. You can either go this way or go this way. And one way leads you to this. It was like some, farm or something, like one of the places you can hide. Or you can go over here to like this. I remember there's a mountain. So maybe it was like go to this isn't what it was, but, or go to a mountain, like you had options to go to two different places. And I remember when that happened, I was seeing like through the trees and stuff, through the darkness, and it would highlight the people that were running that way because you could follow them. So you could see them highlighted, kind of like in Call of Duty when you have some. I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time. Like some score streak where you can see through the walls or whatever, and they're like all highlighted in red. It was like they're like highlighted in white. So you can follow that person. or follow this person this way, and they're highlighted in white. So that's why I think it was a video game idea, or it could be a video game idea, just because of the way I dreamt it. And you're probably thinking this is a wild dream, and I agree with you. It's really weird. But I honestly think it should be made into a video game. I mean, how fun would that be? It's kind of like, oh, you know what you could do? It's kind of like Fortnite, or what do they call that? What's that platform or genre of video games called? Battle Royale. It's kind of like a Battle Royale, but you're running away from like Michael Myers and Slenderman and stuff. But I remember at one point in the dream, I was up in a tree, and I had the idea of going up in a tree and like hiding in the branches of the tree. And I was like, I remember picking off like big leaves that were super big, because it's like a dream. So like the reality's not like it's an inflated reality, exaggerated reality. So I remember grabbing these big leaves and like putting them on a branch, and I was gonna like hide under the branches. But Slenderman in the dream, like Slenderman is tall in the folklore or the stories or whatever he is. I mean, I don't even really know what he is. He kind of surfaced from like a creepypasta or something like that. But in my dream, he was really tall, like super tall, probably like 20, 30 feet tall or something like that. So I remember I was up in the trees, and his head was like, it could be right below me. But it was funny because in my dream, Slenderman kind of got like, this is so odd. And I remember, and this is what another thing I remember from him is really weird. Slenderman got like butthurt that like he wasn't finding anybody or something, like he wasn't killing anyone, or he couldn't find people, and he was making all these excuses as to why. And I remember the people that were in the dream with me, like the people that I know in real life, we were like making fun of Slenderman or something. You're probably very confused, but I just wanted to talk about it because I think it's pretty interesting. And honestly, I mean, can I vocally copyright this idea? Because I need some intellectual freedom here, because this could be a good video game, and it might be a video game 5 years down the road, and you know where it came from. Just saying, if you see it, and maybe it already even is a video game, and I'm not even aware of it. It could be. I mean, it sounds like an idea that someone could have thought of by now, but can I slap on a little R and a circle on this, the little copyright logo? Can I do that? Can I have my intellectual property here, my intellectual freedom, or whatever the fuck? Because that's a good idea. Yeah, I just want to start off talking about that dream there. And I want to talk about the NFL. I need to talk about the NFL because that's what this show is going to be. And this is what I said in the episode that you're not going to hear, that's not going to see the light of day, because it wasn't good. I mean, it was fine. It's just I don't know. I didn't like how it sounded. If that's all that matters. I didn't like how it sounded. I mean, it's a podcast, so that's pretty much the only thing that matters. I want to talk about the NFL, and I said this in the other episode, that now that the NFL is starting, I'm going to be talking about it a lot. I mean, this isn't a news show. It's still like, I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I mean, I don't even know what it is. I mean, you guys might know what it is. My cute mofos might know what it is. I would say it's comedy, I don't know. It's not a news show by any means, but I'll still talk about like current events and whatnot. But now that football is starting, I'm going to be talking about it maybe on every episode, maybe not, but a good be expecting it, a good amount, be expecting some NFL talk, because I love football. I play Madden. I'm a big Madden fan. And breaking news, shocking news. You're going to viewer discretion after what I'm about to say here, but I bought the new Madden. I know. I'll give you a second to digest it. I'll give you a second to digest what I just said. I know. It's crazy. I know. But I bought it. I caved in. I gave in. I was just so bored, and I don't have any video games that I like playing. I mean, we've talked about this before. I just can't get into video games except for Madden, and except for any sports-related game, and I had to get it. So I've been playing it for about, I want to say, maybe 2 weeks, maybe not even that. I mean, I've had it for like 2 weeks, but I haven't played it for like 2 weeks, so maybe just a little over a week. And honestly, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it is pretty good. The new Madden is decent, and that's just as shocking as me saying about it, because there should be, like I said before, there should be a boycott on it, and we should boycott it until it's like fixed. But there are some pros in the game, and I know I said I was going to talk about NFL. I still am. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. I'm just going to talk about Madden real quick. There's some pros to the game. I mean, they fixed franchise slightly, mind you, not a lot, but they did change it. It is a little different, which is exciting and refreshing. There's new aspects of franchise, such as talent trees for like the coaches and the player personnel. There's a different stat screen, like league stats, which is kind of convenient, honestly. You can see just in a quick view like the stat leaders of the league among players. That's cool. Overall, it's got a different layout, and the menus are a little different in the game as well. So there are some changes in the hashtag fix franchise movement for Madden. So that's exciting. And honestly, I mean, from what I've played, it's been pretty entertaining. It's been fun. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, it's definitely better than last year, and it's better than it has been in a while. So that's cool. I can't speak about Madden Ultimate Team because I don't really play Madden Ultimate Team. I just play franchise for the most part, and like Face of Franchise, and Face of Franchise is still cringy as fuck. I mean, the cutscenes are just. I didn't even attempt to watch them. It's just so bad. I just skipped through them just because it's fun, like creating the players. It's like my career for Madden, basically, if you don't play Madden. And everyone knows about my career for 2K. I mean, most people do anyways. So yeah, it's pretty good. I would say if you're looking for a game, if you're just looking for, Madden in general, or just a football game to entertain you if you're a football fan during this exciting NFL season, I would say definitely pick it up. I mean, it's definitely worth buying, I would say, just for the entertainment value of it, and just having more football to, I don't know what that laugh was, to submerge yourself in. So yeah, it's pretty good, and I guess I would recommend it for football fans. And if you're just a casual player, maybe not. Yeah. But yeah, I want to talk about football a little bit, because I did in the other episode, and I kind of have I have 2 weeks worth of football to talk about, because I talked a little bit about preseason, which I might not even touch on because it's preseason. It's kind of in the past now. Who gives a shit? It's just preseason. But I talked about my expectations for like the Lions and how they're gonna shape out in the future. So yeah. 1 second, I need some agua. I'm still trying to recover from my cooling down. I haven't even cooled down yet. I hit the spot. It's very cold. Out of my Takaya. My all white Takaya. My Blanco Takaya. My Blanca Takaya. I think that's white in Spanish, from what I remember. I didn't finish Spanish. I dropped out of Spanish in high school because my Spanish teacher hated me. We had beef, and that's another story. Moving on. True story though. Yes, NFL. So we have one, and if you don't want to listen to NFL talk, if you don't want to listen, if you're not a sports fan and you don't give a shit, skip to right here. I'm pointing at it. Skip to here in the video. And if you're an audio listener, tough nuts for you. You don't know what the timestamp was. Yes. So we got 1 week down in the NFL. We had a Sunday night game and a Monday night game. And the Monday night game was last night, and I watched it. It was very exciting. It was Raiders and Ravens. It went to OT. It had a very a very thrilling end. I mean, for some people. I mean, it was, I was kind of distracted while I was watching it, but it was pretty exciting. The ball kind of went back and forth, possessions at the end there. I remember the Raiders scored on a play where I don't know who the receiver was, but Derek Carr threw it down the field on the sideline, and the guy caught it. It was a good catch, and he made a great effort to dive in the end zone, but his knees hit too early. But I mean, in real time, it looked like he was in. So the entire stadium and even both teams are literally walked out onto the field and started taking their helmets off and like shaking hands and stuff after they do after every game. But the announcers watched the replay because there's like new rules or whatever in the NFL where, every play is like reviewed or something like that. I don't know. So they were reviewing it and they saw that his knee was down early and they're like, oh, this is going to have to come back. And they had to get everyone off the field and continue playing. But the Raiders ended up winning, which is surprising. Definitely didn't fart, which is surprising because it was looking pretty grim. I mean, they had that play that had to come back, and then they're on the goal line. I don't think they could. They ended up getting shut down, I think, on the goal line or something like that. And then the Ravens got the ball back, and then I think Lamar fumbled. Yeah, Lamar Jackson fumbled, which fucked them because that's what made them lose. That's what got the Raiders the ball back, and then the Raiders came down and scored in like a play or two, I think. But yeah, it was an exciting Monday night game to start the season. But I was more excited watching my Lions play, which, if you don't know, that's my team. I think I've talked about them before on the show here. That's my team, and it was honestly not even that bad of a game for the Lions. Jared Goff didn't do terrible. He didn't do amazing. I'm curious to see what his stats were. I'm actually going to look them up right now as I'm talking about it. But the Lions were down in like the fourth quarter. They were down by like 21 points, and they ended up coming back within like 8, which is I'm really annoyed by because I didn't see the last. And this isn't being a true fan. I didn't see the last like 10 or 20 minutes of it because I had an 8 and my family invited me to go somewhere to eat at the end of the game because they're down by 21. I mean, I was going to watch the stats on my phone or whatnot. I was actually watching it on my phone a little bit while I was there, like waiting for the food. And the food was great. I mean, the food was good. This place was good. The food, I don't know what it was called, but it was some Italian place. It was like a super locals only type place, but the food was amazing actually. But that's not what I'm talking about here. Let me look up Jared Goff's stats real quick. So yeah, the score, it was against the 49ers. The score ended up being 41-33. And hold on. Make sure this is on mute. Yeah. So Goff ended up 38 for 57 with 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Not too bad. Not terrible, not like phenomenal, but I mean, better than I expected, honestly. Because in the episode that this is a combination of, I was saying how Jared Goff, he's very average. He's painfully average. I mean, there's no beating around the bush here. Jared Goff, Jared Goofball, he's very average. He's not, he's just average. That's all he is. He's average. And he's a great bridge quarterback for hopefully a draft pick next season or in the coming seasons. I mean, I don't know what his contract is, but I hope it's not anything over 2 years. I don't believe it is. But like I said before in the other episode, he's a great bridge quarterback. I think down the line, I don't know if we're going to keep him. I don't think he's a future option. I mean, he might do great. And this is what I said before. He might do great. He's kind of a 50-50 type situation here. He might end up shocking us. I mean, his first game wasn't terrible, like I said. He might end up shocking the league. He might end up shocking the expectations of me and other Lions fans that I'm sure agree with me. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm hoping he shocks us, and I'm hoping he does great and proves a good majority of the NFL wrong. Because I don't think he's highly regarded, to do great. He's not poised to do great by any means, especially with the team that's surrounding him, which, it's the Lions, but we still play good. We just have trouble winning. That's all. We have trouble winning, okay? We play good, but we just don't win. There's a big difference here. It's not like we play bad and don't win. We play decent, and we just don't win. 41-33 against the 49ers, who are potentially a Super Bowl team. That's not bad for the first game of the season, too. That's setting a pace. That's making a statement. The Lions made a statement in that game, and I think it's this season is looking bright. It's looking a little bright. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We're still not gonna be a great season. I already know this. I can't get myself excited because I just can't get my hopes up because I'm just gonna get crushed. But we did play pretty well, and we got the Packers next week. I don't know if it's Thursday, probably Thursday. We got the Packers coming up. And Aaron Rodgers is coming off a doozy of a game. He even said it himself. I think this is his quote. He said, "My worst game as a quarterback, as a starter," or something like that. He said it was his worst professional game. And I was shocked to see the score. I think it was like a blowout. Like it was like 38-3 or some shit. But they were playing the Saints, I believe. I don't know why. I'll just double check. Hold on. I'll see. 1 second. And that was the sound of my phone falling onto my desk. And while I was going on my run that I was talking about, I dropped my phone and there's no cracks on it. And that's probably the 5th time I've dropped my phone. One of the 5 times that I've dropped my phone in the recent past, and it hasn't cracked. So that's my phone likes me. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it didn't crack when I dropped it. That's what I was trying to say. Where's the score? Yeah, 38-3. God damn it, I'm like fucking Rain Man. My memory. Well, you want to know the score on, of course, Kmart. Of course, you want to know the score on 1989 Thursday Night Football, the Dolphins versus the Bengals. It was fucking 14-56. Yeah, it was 38-3, and let's see what Rodgers' stats were. His stats were, 1 second. He was 15 for 28, 103 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And it looks like Jordan Love had some playtime too, which he was 5 for 7 for 68 yards. So at the pace that Jordan Love was going, he should start over Rodgers. I don't know what that was. I don't like Aaron Rodgers, though. I just don't like him. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him. It's just, I think it's the way he carries himself, the way that he complains, the way that he acts, like he's fucking all the hot shit. I don't like him. I don't know what it is. I just don't like him. And his man bun is fucking stupid. Anyone that has a man bun, hey, guess what? I'm not even going to say it. If you have a man bun, then what are you doing? Yeah. So the Lions got the Packers coming up, and if the Packers play the similar game to how they played against the Saints, then I think we're in luck, and I think we could pull out a win. We could shock the world. We're going to shock the world like the infamous tweet, like Nate Robinson's tweet. That's what we're going to do. We're going to shock the world. The Lions are going to shock the world, and we're going to beat the Packers in week 2. Mark my words. I swallowed. God, I fucking... when you swallow water the wrong way? When you swallow water the wrong way? And you can't talk? Holy Lord, it's all good. It's all good. I think I swallowed it too fast or some shit. That happens to me so often, and I don't understand why. Why does that happen to me? Am I Rain Man when I drink too? Am I regenerative when I drink? That's a callback from last episode. If you listen to it on YouTube, you would know what it means and you would know the reference. Go watch it. I'm not going to describe it. Of course, it's not Kmart. Of course, it's not Kmart. Of course, it's not Kmart. Of course, I need underwear for Kmart. Of course, it's not Kmart. All right, well, I'm going to get canceled, but it's okay. Of course, it's not Kmart. It has to be Kmart. Of course, it's not Kmart. That's a great movie, actually. I mean, as I'm making fun of it, and I'm not really making fun of it. I'm just impersonating it. That's a good movie, though. And I just itched my eye, and I think an eye booger fell out. But whatever. You should watch that movie. If you haven't seen it, Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise. I can't remember who it was directed by, but I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, and it's annoying me. But it's a good movie. Yeah. Dustin Hoffman's great. I mean, Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. I mean, it's just Tom Cruise. But Dustin Hoffman's amazing, and he did a great job in that role, as he does with all of his roles, and I recommend it. But yeah. Finally not sweating, so that's cool. I've been working on my Christmas list. Yep, that's right. I've been working on my Christmas list in September. Because I'm proactive, all right? I'm ahead of the curve, and I'm ahead of my time, and I'm ahead of my years because I'm working on my Christmas list in September. That just makes you mature as a person, so, you know? But yeah, I mean, I have, just because I want to get the things that I want, and I want to get what I know that I want. And I want to get the things that I want. Okay? I want to know exactly what I want, and I want to know exactly what I'm getting, and that's why I'm doing it. Because my list is going to be thorough. My list is going to be my list is going to be a well-oiled machine. Is my list, my Christmas list, because it's been worked out. It's been worked out months in advance, and it's just exactly what I want and what I need. And you should do the same thing. But yeah, I've been working on my Christmas list, and I was shopping on Nike.com because the majority of my list, honestly, is just workout clothes because I don't really have any, and I've been like running a lot and stuff, and I want to just make exercise a daily thing, or just, you know, a routine thing in my life moving forward. Big steps here, you know, adulthood. Here we come. All right, we're coming for you, and we're doing great, and we're doing great things. So I was shopping on Nike.com, right? And I clicked on I don't know what it was, maybe the workout section, and I clicked on men's, right? I clicked on men's category. I clicked on men's clothing, Nike.com, and this is the picture. This is the first thing that I saw right above my hand. Yeah, take a look. Take a look. Soak it in. That's what I saw. Under men's, mind you. That's men's. That's men's. I know. You're confused. I'm confused. We're all confused. They're confused in the picture. They're confused too. That's men's clothing. Just so you know. I saw it, and I was just... I double checked. Is my computer... Did I click women's? Is my computer all right? I mean, I'm not hating on them by any means. So this isn't me this isn't hate speech or whatever the fuck. This isn't, you know, discriminatory or you know, oppressive. This isn't oppressive language by any means, you know. I'm not saying I'm not okay with it. I'm just saying, a little confusing when I click on men's and I don't know whether I'm on the wrong category or not. You know what I mean? I mean, is that model even a man? Men's clothing. I'm just saying. I was a little confused. That's all. That's all it is. Just saying I was a little confused. And if you're a listener, it's workout clothes, I guess. It's workout clothes, I guess. And it's, you know, how do I describe it? It's androgynous, I guess I would say. I mean, who's buying that to work out in, to wear? What guy's buying that? I don't know. Maybe it should be in its own category. I mean, honestly, I'd be fine with that. Put it in its own category and be less confusing. That's all. Just a quick side note, Hey, no hate here. Just confusion, that's all. Hey, no hate, just confusion. I'm going to put it on a t-shirt. Hey, don't hate you, a little confused. Hey, don't hate your choices, but a little confused. Hey, don't hate you, but, kind of perplexed. A little bit. God, my hair's probably all fucked up because I was sweating. I literally was sweating as I got out of the shower. It's the worst feeling ever, and I don't wish it upon my worst enemy. But speaking of shopping, and this was another thing I talked about in episode 10, which is in this episode, which I think it'll be episode 10 plus 12, it'll be called, or something like that. But I've been trying to find a backpack, and yeah, that's it. That's all. I've been trying to find a backpack, and that's it. And you're probably wondering, wow, that's riveting. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that backpack shopping was the hardest thing ever. I mean, I've never had as hard of a time shopping for an item of anything, really, as hard of a time as I've had with trying to find a backpack. I mean, I don't know if it's just me. I mean, it's got to be just me. I mean, it is just me. But Jesus Murphy, Christ on wheels, put it on a pancake. Doesn't make sense, but I said it. I mean, trying to find a backpack has got to be the hardest goddamn thing I've ever done. It's the hardest thing I've ever shot for. I mean, you got so many options. You want a backpack to hike a mountain? You want a backpack to be, utility friendly, to be hiking friendly, to be running friendly? Hey, you want a backpack to be a messenger bag, to be school friendly? I mean, there's so many options, and hey, you want a pocket for this? Hey, you want a zipper here? Hey, you want a stretchy band for this type of thing? Hey, you want to put this thing in your backpack? Here's an accessory for it. Hey, you want an earbud hole? I mean, God, how many... it's like a sensory overload trying to find a backpack that fits. And the issue is that there's so many variations and there's so many specifications to your liking that I just don't know what to choose. And it's really annoying. And another issue is in me trying to find one is that I'm not picky. I'm not saying I'm picky, but I have something I'm looking for in it, sort of, I want a backpack that's like leather, like brown, maybe just leather in general. It doesn't matter really what color it is, because, I mean, you're just going to get brown or like black or some shit. But I want a leather backpack because I think it'll look cool, and for the use that I'm going to use it for. Just I need it to hold like my books and stuff when I go out and about, and like notebooks, like when I write shit, ideas and whatnot. So that's what I want it for. But another thing that makes it so goddamn hard is that leather backpacks just aren't a common thing, I guess. And I mean, there's a lot of them available, but they're weird looking. Half of them look like, you're hiking Mount Everest, like I said. I don't need that. I don't need to walk around, looking like I'm ready for an avalanche in the Midwest. I don't need to walk around. I don't need to be walking around looking like, I could live in an igloo at any moment in time. I don't need to walk around looking like, I don't need to walk. You know what I mean? It's just so hard. I mean, I've looked for so long. And I finally just gave up, to be honest. I did. I gave up on it because I looked for so long for a backpack, and I think it came down to I have one saved on a tab in Google Chrome on my computer. I mean, the hell? What's a computer? Isn't that a word? Confused? Maybe. Who knows? On my computer, I have one saved. And, I could buy it. I might buy it. But why was it so hard? I mean, it's just astonishing how hard it is to find a backpack. I mean, go ahead. All right, I challenge you. All right, my cute mofo. You want a backpack? All right, go find one. See how fast it takes you. because it took me probably 2 weeks or more, and I haven't even found one yet, so it's even longer. Go ahead. Try to find a backpack. You can't. But find a backpack for whatever you find. Think of something that you need a backpack for and try to find one. And tell me how long it took, because God almighty, put it on a pancake. It takes a long time. And it was very annoying. But anyways, moving on. I just had to talk about my backpack issues because, maybe someone can relate. I need someone to relate me on this because it's annoying. Yeah. I was watching more chess videos, and I don't know if have I talked about this on any of the episodes? I don't know if I have. I'm not sure if I have, but I've been watching a lot of chess content, and I think I know I talked about it. I don't know if it's out. I've become so disorganized, and I apologize. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just there's a lot going on. I have a lot going on in my head, and it's hard to stay on the one train by A$AP Rocky and Yellow Wolf and Kendrick Lamar and whoever else is on it. Put up a picture. It's hard to stay in the one train in life, and we're just trying to stay on the one train, and we're trying to stay on the one train every episode. And every episode's great. Every episode's awesome. It's, you know what I mean? I can do this always and forever, and I might. But, there's a lot of extraneous factors in my head. I mean, I got a lot, I'm thinking I'm writing stuff. I'm trying to write things. I'm trying to create things. I'm always creating stuff, and it just gets jumbled up. I got to do an episode. It gets jumbled up in my head here. And I'm trying to stay on schedule. I'm moving forward. I'm going to try to stay on schedule, every Wednesday, 11 a.m. You know the deal. Make sure you have your coffee ready at the beginning of the episode. I don't have one here because it's 9 p.m. It's 9:30 p.m. I'm not going to drink a cup of coffee right now. But you know the deal. I'm trying. And, yeah. So, I was watching chess on YouTube. And I think I've talked about it before, but like I said, I've been watching a lot of chess stuff on YouTube. And I've been playing a lot of chess, too, on my phone and stuff. And against some of my family members. And I'm still undefeated. I mean, I don't think I've lost a game of chess, and that's a true fact. It's a true statement, true story. Real people, not actors. That's a real story. Yeah. I was watching this one chess video, and it's this guy. He has a channel. His name is I think his first name is Nakamura and his last name is Hikaru. Maybe it's the opposite. I'm not sure. It might be Hikaru Nakamura. I don't know. By any means, his name is Hikaru Nakamura. It might be vice versa, but that's his name. I was watching him on YouTube because he has a channel, like I said. And there's this one video where I think he was playing Mr. Beast. Yeah, he was playing Mr. Beast. And he had one queen. He had 2 pieces or something like that, something crazy like that. And he was playing Mr. Beast, and Mr. Beast had all of his pieces. And he ended up, because he's a grandmaster, and what that means in chess, basically, you're a boss ass bitch. In chess, if you're a grandmaster, you're a boss ass bitch. You're the head honcho, you're the don. If you're a grandmaster, you're just up there. It's upper echelon type shits. That's what it is in chess. If you're a grandmaster. There's also, so the way they abbreviate it, so if you ever see, if you're playing chess or something, or see on YouTube, GM, if they're called a GM, they're not a manager of a general manager, they're a grandmaster. That's what that means. And that's what Hikaru is, and he has a YouTube channel that you should go check out, like I've already said a couple times, sorry. And when he's playing Mr. Beast, not bees. When he's playing Mr. Beast, I noticed something, and I had this thought, and I want to work it out like I did with my dream. I want to work out this thought because I haven't expanded on it at all. I just noticed it, and I logged it in my head, in my noggin. I logged it. I wrote it down in my head, and I want to work it out a little bit here. Because it's either really stupid, it's either really dumb and naive, and silly and stupid and gross and disgusting and whatever adjective you want to use, or it's very astute and maybe it's an intelligent thought. Who knows? We're gonna find out the more we talk about it, and we'll find out. But this is what it was, because as you can tell, Hikaru is not American. He's not. He's not. He speaks English, but he's not American, obviously, unless his parents hate him. He's. I think he's Korean. I mean, he looks Korean. I mean, I'll double check, because it's already gonna get dicey what I'm gonna say. So I'm just gonna. I'll might as well be proper where it can be. You know what I mean? Nakamura. Hikaru Nakamura. Okay, so his first name is Hikaru. Hikaru Nakamura. I'm fucking up his name so bad, and I apologize. And he's Japanese. God damn it. See you later. Goodbye. I mean, how many times? How bad can I describe this man? He's a Japanese chess player, American chess grandmaster. That's what he is. And I've kind of beat around the bush of describing him, but that's what he is. And this is what I noticed, and this is what I'm going to work out here. Given that he's Japanese, and given that he's not American, I had a thought. And this is how the thought came about. So he was playing Mr. Beast, as I said, and actually I want to preempt this by saying that I worked with a family of Koreans, and this, I'm not making this up. I worked at a place for several years, and I was there when there's a change in ownership, and a Korean family became the owners of the company, and I still worked there, and I worked for them, and they're great, and I liked them a lot. I mean, I still like them. They're great people, and they're awesome, and it doesn't really relate to him being Japanese, but you know what I mean. So I was around, they're Asian-speaking people, and Asian people. And I picked up on some things, like body language and stuff, and stuff like that. And what I noticed when Hikaru was playing Mr. Beast, how do I go about saying this? Because I'm not trying to think of how to say it without being offensive. I'm just trying to think of how to say it the way that I thought about it. Basically, it had to do with his humor. It had to do with like what made him laugh, because he had like a typical, and it's gonna sound bad no matter how I say it, but he had like a typical like Asian type laugh. Okay, I said it. I'm not trying to be offensive or whatever, but he had like a typical Asian laugh, and I thought to myself, because just from my experience working with them and working with some Korean people. I mean, I worked with another Korean guy that was close to my age. And I noticed that, they laugh at a lot of things. They like to laugh, which is awesome, which is great. And they laugh at most things. And what I thought was that they have a consistent laugh. That's how it started. That's how my thought started. They have like a consistent laugh to where whenever they laugh, it's kind of like the same laugh. And this isn't, I'm not saying this applies for all of them. This is just what I noticed in like Hikaru and who I've, worked with. Their laugh doesn't really change very much. It's kind of like the same laugh for like any type of joke or any type of response, humorously. So that's what led me into the idea of do Asian cultures and people have what I said to myself, I don't even know if this is a word, a referential humor. Let me double check if that's a word. Do they have referential humor, or do they understand it? And I'll expand on that in a second. Referential humor. Shit, I didn't mean to search humor. I should just search referential. Referential, containing of the nature of references or allusions. Yes, so that is a word. Awesome. Cool. Didn't know it was a word, but I knew it was a word at the same time. So yeah, do they have like a referential humor? And what I mean by that, not even humor, maybe just like referential joke telling. Because like I said, I mean, they have kind of a similar response, like laughing wise, to most things, that when they can, sense something being funny or as a joke, when they know it's a joke, they kind of react in the same way, in an undifferentiated way. And it got me thinking, do they know, and this kind of just applies to like, if your first language like isn't English and you're not, you weren't like born here your entire life, if you're kind of like a foreigner, do they have that in their cultures? Because like I don't speak their language, I don't know, I couldn't tell, I don't know what they're saying half the time. I mean, I know some words, but do they tell jokes in a way in their own language and in their own culture, like where they like joke telling in an alluding way, like kind of like to pop culture or whatever? Because like I remember where I was thinking like, like do they tell jokes where it's like, oh, that's what, in North Korea, like, oh, that's what, Kim Jong-un would say. Of course they wouldn't make jokes about him because they'd probably get their head shot off, but, like shit like that. Do they have those kind of jokes? I mean, the more I'm saying this, the dumber it sounds. the less substance that it seems that it has. But I'm trying to just translate what I thought. Yeah, I mean, do they do that? Do they have that type of like, I'm trying to think of like an example I could say, because you know what I mean, like for us, like for English people, I guess, you make jokes like, oh, you look like Carrot Top, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you look like that guy looks like Carrot Top, or oh, put a ring on it like Beyonce, like shit like that. Like that's what I mean by referential humor, and I guess it kind of pertains to like pop culture type stuff. But do Asian speaking cultures have that? I mean, I don't know. It's a random thought. I mean, it's really random, and it doesn't really. I mean, I don't know. I just want to know if they have that, and I want to know the answer. And I don't think there really is any way of finding the answer to that. But that's just what I thought, and I wanted to work it out with my cute mofos. And maybe I got your gears churning. Maybe you're like, maybe he has a point here. Maybe when I was ordering my noodles, the other day, and I made a joke about what's his face, and they didn't laugh. Maybe it's because they didn't understand it. And you're welcome. First of all, I don't know. I don't know why I thought that, and I don't know why I talked about it, but I did. And maybe, I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's interesting, but whatever. Yeah. So, like I said in the beginning, I received some terrible news. I mean, sad news. It's honestly sad. And I gotta bring the mood down here in the episode. On a more serious note here, I was finishing my run, and my mom called me, and when I picked it, I was like pretty much like at the end of my run, but when I picked it up, not like it matters, but I picked it up, and the first thing she said was, "Oh my God," and the first thing I thought of was, well, how'd you let my dog out? How'd my dog run away? That's the first thing that jumped in my head. It was how did my dog run away, and where did the cat shit this time? That's the first two things I thought of immediately. Bam, right off the bat, when she said, "Oh my God," when I answered the phone. But it took a darker turn. It took an even darker turn, because she told me that Norm Macdonald passed away, and like I said before, I haven't really, processed it. I haven't really had time to really think about it, honestly. I mean, that phone call was probably 40 minutes ago, or an hour ago, because I've been doing this for close to an hour. Yeah. He died of cancer, I believe. And I'm going to pull up an article because I haven't even read anything. That's the only thing I know is that what she told me and what she said to me. So, yeah, I mean, I just know that immediately from hearing that I wanted to talk about him because Norm Macdonald is probably, I mean, honestly, my favorite comedian. I mean, him and Norm Macdonald, and I might have even said it before, I'm not sure, but Norm Macdonald, Bill Burr, Tom Segura maybe, not so much, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I think Norm Macdonald is my favorite comedian ever, and he's, in the world of comedy, he's extremely important. He's, a virtuoso of in the comedy world, and I mean, even comedians look up to him. And that says something in and of itself. I mean, he's a legend. He's a bona fide legend. He's a comedic genius. His jokes are, phenomenal the way he tells them. He's all around just like one of the best comedians to ever do it. And that's, there's no disputing that. I mean, honestly, there really isn't. And yeah, I mean, I found out tonight that he passed away, and and I have his book here. I bought this a while ago. I haven't finished it. I think I'm halfway through it. But yeah. It's crazy. I think he had, what my mom said to me, he had cancer, a private battle with cancer or something. And oh my God, I just thought of a joke he had of losing. He has a joke that he has in one of his specials, and it's a joke about losing a battle to cancer. And wow, and now he's the butt of his own joke. He has a joke about cancer where it's where people talk about cancer and they say, "Oh, he lost his battle to cancer," and this is probably why it was private. This is probably why he kept it private, honestly. The joke is people say, he lost his battle to cancer, and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't want to die. I don't want to die a loser." Oh, he lost his battle. What a loser. He lost his battle. Why didn't he win it? I mean, he didn't say it like that, but that was the concept of the joke, and it's a great joke. I mean, it's really funny, and I can't even remotely tell it the same way that he does. But wow, yeah, I just thought of that. It's crazy. I mean, it's so weird that he's not around. I mean, he's just. I mean, when I say he's my favorite, I mean, he literally probably is my favorite comedian. And I don't know if I've ever talked about him on the show. I mean, I might have briefly, because here on Hey, R.I.P, as you know, I'm a big fan of comedy. I mean, it's a comedy podcast, I guess is what you could call it. And yeah, I mean, I'm just a huge fan of stand-up. I love, what comedians do, and I love what Norm Macdonald did. And I don't think, I mean, the first thing I thought of was comedy is just not going to be the same without him, really, because there's no other comedian like him. I mean, he's just so phenomenal, like I said, and also he was so he just didn't give a shit what people thought of him, and that's exactly how he lived his life. And anyone that was close to him would probably say the same thing. I mean, that's what they said about him. That's what I've heard people say about him, is he just didn't care what people thought, and it translated through his comedy. It was just very unforgiving, but very funny, and that's what made him so great. And there's just no one else that does it like that, and no one else that will probably do it like that. Now that we have this bullshit PC, world, and I wish someone like that could be around to do it. And it's unfortunate that the world of comedy has lost him because, who else is going to do it? Who else will ever do it like him? Nobody. Yeah. Let me see. I was going to look up this article because I think they kind of just describe what happened to him. Norm Macdonald, this is from CNN. Norm Macdonald, comedian and SNL alum, dies at 61. He was 61. Wow, I thought he was older, honestly. Battling cancer for several... They said battling. So fucked up. They said battling like they don't know his joke. Norm Macdonald has been battling cancer for several years, but kept his diagnosis private. His friend and producing partner, Lori Jo Hoekstra, told CNN in a statement. He was most proud of his comedy. He never wanted the diagnosis to affect the way the audience or any of his loved ones saw him. Norm was a pure comic. Once he wrote that a joke should catch somebody by surprise, it should never pander. He certainly never pandered. That's true. Norm will be missed terribly. And that's also true. Yeah, his jokes were just so original, and if you're like a fan of comedy, a true fan of comedy, you would know like the extreme importance that he had and that he still has, and like the impression that he made on comedy itself, because it was extraordinary. You could if you're a comedian, you could just study his work, his body of work alone, and just learn so many things. And he was the guy that like people looked up to, like I said. And I could talk, I could do a full episode on how like great he is and all the things that made him so just so entertaining to listen to and so great at what he does. He was a pure comic. Yeah, I don't even know really what to say. It's just messed up. I'm definitely going to read this book now. I have to read it now that he's, to honor him. This is a memoir that he wrote. That's about his life loosely. I think it's all true stuff, but yeah. He will be missed terribly. That's a true statement. And I think, I wanted to watch, some clips of his, some of my favorite clips by him. But I don't know if I want to do it now. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I should. Just because of, I don't know. It's just kind of a bummer, really. Like I said, I found out like an hour or two ago. That's the only time that I've really had to think about it. I haven't talked about it till now. This is the first time I'm talking about it. Yeah. He was great on SNL, as you probably know. He did the Weekend Update. He was great on there. I remember when he came back, because they fired him because they said he wasn't funny enough, which is so blasphemy, honestly. They said he wasn't funny enough or something like that, or he was too boring or something. And then when they had him back on, like a couple years later or something like that, he had a joke when he went back on. He said, when he came back on the show, I think it was during a monologue or something, he said that they fired me because they said I wasn't funny enough. And then he was like, so either I'm funnier or the show is less funny. It was something like that. And that just shows you like how his humor went. And by me trying to tell his jokes, it doesn't do it any justice. You should watch them for yourself. I encourage you to. I encourage you to watch his special and anything you can find. Every time he's been on Conan, he's hilarious. I mean, his stories that he tells on Conan are just amazing. I still remember like most of them. Like the one where he talked about being Polish. You know what? I think I'm just gonna cut him in while I'm talking. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cut him instead of just reacting to him. I'm just gonna cut him in, and you can just listen to him yourself. I think that's what I'll do. Cause it's already been like an hour, and yeah, I don't know if I really want to react to him, but yeah, I mean, I hate to bring the mood down or whatever, but it sucks. I mean, yeah. I don't know really what more to say about it. Yeah. He also has a show on, if you want to watch more of him, he has a show on Netflix, and I think it's called The Norm Macdonald Show. It came from, he was on YouTube for a while, and then I think it kind of turned into the Netflix thing that he has. He talks to his celebrity friends on there and some celebrities that you would know, and that's also very funny. I mean, anything that he ever has done is funny. No matter from Howard Stern, Conan, anything that he's on. So I encourage you to go watch him. I was gonna react to some stuff by him, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. Just because of time. Just because of the time that I'm at and, the time of day that it's at, too. So I still have to edit this episode and get it out. So, yeah. I think I'll just cut him in. I'll just cut in the clips by him. Some of my favorite clips by him. And for you to enjoy. And, yeah. This was episode 10 plus 12, I think. I mean, that's what it is, because, episode 10 didn't come out, and then I did episode 11 on YouTube, which you can go watch on Hey R.I.P on YouTube. And I'll try to get that one out on for the audio listeners as well. But I think because it's going to come out before, if I do it sequentially, it'll be, episode 11. It'll go from like 9 to 11 to 10 plus 12, which is this one. So that's now you know, and hopefully there's no more confusion. And like I said, I'm going to try to get them out on time, weekly, Wednesdays, 11 a.m. I'm going to stick to that schedule, because I don't have too many excuses for it, for the latency and, the disorganization, besides, just other stuff going on. But yeah, this was episode 10 plus 12. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the clips that I put in. Please watch them, honor him. He's gone, and it's sad, and he will be missed. And goodbye. Have a good night. See you later.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. In the what's that? Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is my name. When the people here asked me to do the show, I gotta say, I felt kind of weird. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show. I used to do the weekend update news routine. You remember that? And yeah, that's where I did the make-believe news jokes. That was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, Now, with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you don't want it. But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show. How did I suddenly get so damn funny? It was inexplicable to me, because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is, I'm still not funny. The good news is, the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here.
I'm Macdonald. Is that Irish? Is that Scottish? What's your ethnic background?
My ethnic background is Polish.
Are you really Polish? Wow.
Polish people,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Macdonald, you don't...
Well, my parents changed their names. They had to, because of the constant ribbing they'd get for being Polish, And so they changed their name to Macdonald. But, it's one of the things that you can, I mean, I get a little upset about it, because, you
all the
can't...
Polish jokes and
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't make jokes about other people, but for some reason you make jokes about Polish people,
Right.
I don't like it.
Right. You shouldn't. That sounds bad, yeah.
I mean, I had an experience, I go in and I order a Polish sausage, from this guy, and so the guy says to me, you must be Polish. And I said, come on, man. I mean, come on. Think about it, what you're saying. I'm trying to knock some sense into this fellow's head, maybe give him a wider world view,
Sure, yeah.
I said, you think because I order a Polish sausage, I'm Polish. I said, what if somebody came in here and ordered French toast? Would you think he was French,
Right.
I mean, what if somebody came in here and ordered a Belgian waffle? Would you consider that guy a Belgian? I mean, if a guy came in and ordered a German bratwurst, would you consider that fellow to be a German fella?
Right.
I said, what if a guy came in and ordered German potato salad? I suppose you'd think he was German too. Yeah?
Yeah.
What if a guy...
Wow, you talked to this guy for a while.
I'm telling you, man. With racists, you have to get through
You have to
them.
really get it into their head. Right.
I said, if a guy came in and he ordered a Cuban hamburger, are you going to assume he's a Cuban?
Right.
I said, I think it is absolutely ridiculous that just because I come in here, I order a Polish sausage, why would you jump to the fact that I'm Polish?
Right.
And the guy says to me, well, first of all, it's a hardware store.
And you hate Polish jokes, don't you? You just hate them.
No, I think they're disgusting.
This grimness. Although my buddy, I did want to say one thing about my buddy Richie, who has a disease, and but it's an interesting disease he has. He has the disease of alcoholism. And he came to me, and he told me, and I like to look. I'm the kind of guy who likes to look at the bright side of things, So I told him, I said, Richie, it's true that you have a disease and everything, but I think you got the best one. It's the only disease where you get to drink booze all the time. I haven't looked at every medical journal, but I believe it's the only disease where you can constantly drink booze. As a matter of fact, that is the disease. And I don't think Richie would think if he had a disease. Like, I don't think Richie would go to my Uncle Bert, go, hey, I understand you got bowel cancer. Ah, man, I know how you feel. I gotta drink a lot of booze. Those diseases, they're tough, those diseases, huh, Uncle Bert? Hey, what's your symptoms, Uncle Bert? Well, my bowel, I got blood pouring out of it all the time. I got bowel blood pouring out, gushing out of my bowel. almost nonstop. And I got searing, clawing pains, ripping, tearing, mind-screeching bowel pains. And they're combined with aching, dull, soul-deadening bowel pain. Those are basically my symptoms. How about you? I get happy. And, I tend to be able to talk to people easier, I find. Sometimes I will meet a lady at a bar, got the same disease as I do, and I'll fuck her. But that's in the latter stages of the disease, Uncle Bert. You gotta realize that. Know what I mean, Uncle Bert? But but listen, man, I don't minimize what he does though, because he admits that he's an alcoholic and that he's weaker than a bottle, and that ain't easy to do. I couldn't do any of that shit. I'm too proud, you know what I mean? I got too much pride, like they say in the scriptures, pride goeth before the fall, and he can somehow, it's a very beautiful thing he does. He goes to Alcoholics Anonymous and he says right in front of them, he says, he goes in front of a whole room full of people and he says, I am an alcoholic, which I know does not sound that anonymous. I didn't name the group, but sounds like the exact opposite of anonymous. Whatever. Like to me, the alcoholics that, the anonymous alcoholics, to me, would be like you guys. I don't fucking know. I can't tell, But once you tell a whole church basement full of people, your cover's pretty well blown. But anyways, it still requires a lot of... The only thing they seem to be anonymous about, from the way I can gather it, is they won't tell you their last names. Anything else goes, But not the last name. No. Sometimes they'll say the first, they'll go, I am Richie and I am an alcoholic, or the first initial. They'll say, my name is Richie K and I am an alcoholic. Then anything goes. They're like, one time I remember I was under the influence of the demon rum and I started punching my newborn in the face. I looked down at my fist and it was all bloody with, I don't know what it was. It was either from my knuckles or my son's skull. Yeah. I'm not telling you my last name. That's none of your beeswax. As far as I'm concerned, a man should have a little, Did I ever tell you about the time I blew a dog for a pint of gin? Oh, yeah, I did tell you that. First initial's K, I'll give you that much. Richie K, but I'm not going to tell you the last letters. Plus, you can memorize my face. But other than that, I would like to keep this completely anonymous. If there was just a way I could... And what better way to keep a secret, when you think about it, than tell a room full of drunks? That's not going anyplace, As soon as the guy has a relapse, hey, Richie blew a dog for a pint of gin. He told a whole bunch of us. I understand the dog had some gin. What are you going to do? Oh, yeah. Richie K. You know Richie K?